different because of that, because of how I've adapted in response to the mistakes that I've made.
Right. Well, mistakes are learning opportunities. They can be in the past. We learn from them, and not resent them or regret them. We learn from them. Learn to not make the same mistake twice. And if we make the same mistake over and over again, that's the definition of insanity if we expect a different result. So it's really up to us on what we're going to do with the mistakes that we've learned. I mean, I don't know one person that hasn't made a mistake in their life.
Yeah, big ones, usually.
Those are the ones that are the best to fall from, because they make us into better people.
Yeah. Well, I think back to the humility thing that I talked about at the very beginning of the show. It's this, to me, it's this idea of seeing ourselves accurately in reference to what I call God. Seeing myself accurately in reference to God. I'm not perfect. I'm not a deity. I'm going to make mistakes. So who am I to be excessively hard on myself when I make a mistake?
Right.
That's what makes me a human being.
Yes,
and going back to being a parent, if I fly off the handle at my boy, and which I do from time to time.
You're not alone.
No, I know, but when I reflect and think, man, that's really not who I want to be. I don't like myself in those moments. I go back to him and say, listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have handled this that way. Because when we pretend like we're perfect to our kids, that's like a form of spiritual abuse. It really is. And
it's a
I
form
didn't
of spiritual
come up with that
abuse?
on my own.
Is that what you said?
I think so. Yeah. Or neglect at that.
Well, it's not really teaching them anything except that they're supposed to self-shame for what they did.
Right. That I'm perfect and you're supposed to be perfect too. And that's just not reality. I didn't come up with that on my own, by the way. That's from Tia Melody literature. The idea of how, well, as parents, our fathers, mothers generally represent what God means to us as children. That's our first idea of what God is.
Yeah.
We get that from our parents. So when we are, when we're not loving, we're unrealistic, that we distort their views of what really on a deep fundamental level. So being real and honest with our kids, I think, is important.
Agreed. I think it's...
And sometimes it's hard. Because we don't want to let them down. So, again, and, like I mentioned before, the pattern that I've seen with the young people I work with is that, a lot of times it goes back to different things that happened in their childhood, how they were parented. And now we hear a lot about the helicopter parent.
Yeah.
There's that term. And here's, this is one of the things that's come up for me over the last few years, and I'm doing some writing about, is the whole idea of manhood, what it means to be a man. And, when someone's getting, at that age, when, they're getting sober between 18 and 25, I mean, they're transitioning into manhood. They would have been doing it anyway. That, in and of itself, is a difficult transition to make, let alone trying to do it while you're trying to get sober. But, I can't tell you how many times I've encountered parents who, they have a son who's 22 years old and been through treatment 2 or 3 different times, and they're frustrated with him. And, well, he just needs to man up. He just needs to get a job. He just needs to finish school. All these, and a lot of times what happens is, they party through high school, do whatever they do, and then they go away to college, and they go completely off the rails.
Yeah.
A lot of times don't even get a credit. And by the time the first term is over, Christmas break comes around, they're not students anymore, and they end up in treatment. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But then you dig a little deeper, and you start to find out what happened, and And you find these parents who have done absolutely everything for them their entire life.
And they didn't let them fall at all.
Didn't teach them how to take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't teach them how to deal with their own issues. Didn't teach them how to do anything. Just out of love, did everything for them.
But it's enabling, and it can be damaging.
Send them off to college, and then they crash and burn. And then the parent says, "Oh, well, he just needs to man up." Well, what did you do to teach him how to be a man? You didn't do anything. What you taught him by doing everything for him was that he wasn't a man, or that he wasn't capable of it.
Or to learn to rely on someone else to tie up the loose ends.
Right.
Tom, we're out of time. Man, this hour went fast. I appreciate you being on the show. For you guys, follow the path to authenticity. And Tom, how do we find that? Really quick, 30 seconds.
Well, there's a landing page, thepathtoauthenticity.com. That will link to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, all the different platforms. You can follow me on social media at The Path to Authenticity.
thepathtoauthenticity.com.
At The Path to Authenticity.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And thank you so much for today. And you guys, if you are bumping heads with your children, take some of these tools and apply it and pay it forward so that there's not problems down the road. And thank you, Ed, for everything. We'll be back tomorrow, 12 to 1, and every Thursday, Friday, 12 to 1. Be kind to yourself and to others. You don't know what they're going through. Take care.
Hope is following you.